This week, my head is much more stable and more clearer. You know, like when you get hit with so much at one time, or when it rains, it pours. That's why I had to disappear for a little while. It was a little too much to absorb, and I had to absorb it, you know. That's how I work. I gotta absorb the information because I can't move forward. It's like I'd be like, like it's so much. I got to absorb it, take it in, soak it in, and put it in its rightful place. I'm gonna take a different approach of doing my videoing and editing. It's a little different. I didn't prepare. Can't prepare because I'm just getting myself together. So we're gonna do something a little different this time. I'm gonna edit and create the video at one time. I'm gonna try to because I gotta put a video out there. It's late. I'm sitting over here in one of the bedrooms in the house. And you know what? The time now is and I have a cold and diarrhea. I don't think I have a cold. It's more like a virus. I caught it from my grandkids, I think, or going over by my daughter's house, because her kids are sick. So we've been going back and forth to the doctors. They wasn't prescribing them the correct medication. So I call myself being a good grandmother because they've been sick for a while. What got me also like pickle-minded is in between of staying here at my mom's house, taking care of the cats, cleaning and doing the things that I have to do at this location. I also lately been running to my daughter's house, who do not live nowhere in Brooklyn. And her children, I've been over there for a couple of months now, and her children, you know, something's wrong. They don't, well, they have a cold. And I noticed, I didn't say anything to my daughter, 'cause I didn't know what it was going on with those children, you know, because do they have a cold? Is it the flu? So I told my daughter, you know what? You gotta take your kids to the hospital. They gotta go to the doctor because people ain't coughing. But let me tell you something about my daughter. My daughter, what you talking about? Everybody's coughing. That's her. She coughed. She said, everybody coughing. Girl, you don't know what you're talking about. Everybody at my job coughing. I said, well, that's at your job. And that's maybe in this area, like the area you associate yourself with. But in my area, in Brooklyn, and I also go to the Bronx, because you know I have an apartment in the Bronx. I showed you my apartment that I got in the Bronx when I came home from the shelter. Ain't nobody over there coughing on and off. So one thing that I have noticed when I go to the hospitals, sometimes I go to the hospitals because I go to the cafeteria for lunch, or I may have a doctor appointment. And I have noticed in the hospitals, they had signs that was saying, if you have a constant cough, to let the staff know. You know, I have been going back and forth to the doctor here and there, and I came across this sign. I was like, wow. I'm thinking to myself, wow, who will cough that much that, you know, they have to let the staff know? So since COVID, I have seen certain changes, right? You know, in the atmosphere and with our healthcare system. So I told my daughter, you know, you gotta cough. You gotta check that out. And it's not cool to have your kids coughing like that. And my daughter, she told me ain't nothing wrong with them. She giving them cough medicine, and everybody saying the cough is the last to go. That's what she's saying. The cough is the last to go. I said, but ain't nobody coughing over here where I'm at, or that I see on a regular basis. There's nobody coughing. Girl, what you talking about? Everybody cough. You just don't have friends. You just don't. I said, listen, I don't need to have friends to see that people's not coughing. I ride the subway. I'm always outside. I'm in the department store. Come on, I'm outside. I'm a outdoorsy type of person. Ain't nobody coughing on the trains or on the buses or down the streets as we walking. There's nobody coughing like that. So I told my daughter, listen, I want you to take my grandkids to the hospital. See, in the video, what happened is that my daughter started taking her children to her doctors, to their doctors. And the doctors were saying that they have allergies. I was like, what? An allergy? I never knew people to have allergies like that, where the person is constantly coughing. It's like, and then one child is vomiting and don't want to eat. Oh, and when they sleeping, it sounds like they can't breathe. You know, I'm with my phone. Are they breathing all right? You know, you sure everything all right? You know, wake up. You okay? I said, well, allergies? It sounds like a cold to me. And my daughter said, I told you don't know nothing. Everybody got allergies. Everybody coughing. It's the last thing to go. I'm like, you know, and then they giving them this medicine here. And the medicine is not working. So I'm like, bewildered, like, what's going on? How come they can't get the right kind of medicine, and why they not getting diagnosed properly? One doctor gave them the same medicine twice. Another doctor gave them a different medicine. And nothing seems to be working for these grandkids. And I can't understand why it's not going away. Okay, viewers, let me elaborate on what you just saw. First of all, today's date is April the 18th, 2024. The pictures that you just saw, those images was taken April 7th, 2024. So let's get into the video and let's see what's going on. So I call myself being a good grandmother because they've been sick for a minute. So I ate behind them because I know I have a healthy body. So I ate behind them to see to see my diagnosis of what I had. I prescribed the same medicine. One doctor prescribed the same medicine twice, and they had this cough, and this cough for about 3 months, 4 months, and I got on my daughter. I said, "No, you gotta do something about this." My little granddaughter, she just coughed all day. So I call myself trying to be a hero, and I ate behind them on purposely wanting to get sick to see what the doctor was going to tell me what I had. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the doctor yet, but I will be going. You see, at the time of this video, I've been so busy that I could not myself go to a doctor. First of all, when I wanted to make an appointment, I could not make an appointment because they wasn't seeing anyone. They said that their registry was full. I actually waited a whole month. And then I called back my primary care doctor, and they gave me an appointment 3 months down the road. I kid you not. This is April. I believe I called, let me see. I got an appointment in June. So let me see. I called like in February. They gave me an appointment sometime in June. So that's what I'm saying. I'm telling y'all that I haven't had time to go to an emergency room. Because I did call to make an appointment for the doctor, but they gave it to me in the month of June. So in the video, I'm expressing that I'm so busy that I cannot make it to the emergency room. So that's what I meant when I said I can't make it to the doctor office. Let's go back into the video. It's 2:29, April 7th, and I'm still up. I told you, I got a lot going on right now. And being sick on top of everything I got going on is not cool. So, I took my hair out. Remember the style I had? I took it out. And I got wash and do my hair now. So, I have diarrhea. I'm coughing. You know, I got this ugly cough. I be like, you should hear this cough. I never had a cough like that. According to my daughter, she's telling me that the doctors is telling her that the kids have a virus. There's so many diversity of people up here in New York, right? That these kids are getting viruses that is not normal or different from the viruses that we used to have. So my granddaughter coughed all the time. They said it's a virus. My grandson can't hold nothing down. He coughing all the time. I mean, they just cough all the time. Cough that I have, it's coughing a lot, but it hurts right in the chest. I gotta go doctor, it burns. And sometimes, sometimes you should see it. Sometimes it lingers. I said, I never had no cough like that. I can even feel it in my chest. I said, wow, I never had a cough like this, or feel actually cold or whatever it is in my chest. I guess, we got so many people around us now from all over the world. We getting different kind of viruses and stuff like that. And you know who I'm going to blame, right? The government. Yeah, I know, right? Letting everybody overheating like this. Getting all of us sick. Oh, then on top of that, we just had an earthquake, but I slept through it. I heard it was about 10:30. I don't even know what day it is. A couple of days ago, I know it happened. Today, I just told you what day it is, and I still just say I don't know what day it is. So now, what's going on is I have this cough now. I need to go to the doctor, but I can't get there yet because I'm so busy. Not only am I helping my daughter with my grandkids, I have to come to this house. I have my own obligations, and I have things that I'm doing personally for myself. I have so much going on that I slept through the earthquake. I slept through the earthquake. I get a phone call. My daughter said, we had an earthquake. I was like, I was asleep because I was up working. In that video, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, I was up working for BWS. What I was trying to do, no, it's not what I was trying to do. It's what I did. I was working for this nonprofit company I have called BWS. My daughter had to drive me back home from her home. And then I'm up in the wee hours of the night. I had so much work to do, trying to do what it is I need to do for myself. And I'm sick on top of that, but I can't get to the doctor yet because, honestly, I don't have the time yet to go to the hospital for myself. We just had an earthquake, and I slept through it because I was up all night like I'm up right now. And what I'm doing right now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. So you see all these little papers right here? You see that? I'm doing another fundraise. I did one fundraise already for this nonprofit company I have, but now this is the second fundraise. Because I didn't get anything, I didn't get anywhere with the first fundraise. And what you're looking at is the booklets that I'm creating to go out. So what you just saw is booklets that I have to take to FedEx tomorrow and get it in a book form. It just can't be like, I just can't give nobody something like this, right? I wash my hands. I already washed my hands. I already washed my hands right now. Because I'm getting ready to do some paperwork, I'm just going to wipe my hands off again. I want no smudge, no dirt. Because these booklets have to go out to prospects, people who I like to make known about BWS. So it's a nonprofit organization, and to get funded, you gotta let people know. And I don't want my booklets having any dirt or anything on it, so I just wipe my hands off. Because what I'm doing now, to complete, see, this is the back of the book once it's together, once it's binded. But what happened is FedEx was closing, so I have to add some more paper to the booklet to make it complete. But let me tell you something. Paper costs money. I even have in my code of causes for BWS, paper. Paper costs a lot of money. In my business, I spend tons of dollars, hundreds of dollars in paper. So this is what I have to do now, is add the rest of this paper here to the booklet to make it complete. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I have to do it because tomorrow I have to be ready, up and able to go to FedEx. So they can put it in a booklet for me, then I'll be able to mail it out. But let me concentrate for a minute. So these are the last 3 sheets that need to go behind here to complete the booklet. So I'm going to attach it like so. I'm not sitting at the table. That's why I'm not at the table. So it's a little awkward. But it is what it is. So that's the booklet. Okay. So I'm gonna tie this up and then I get back to you. here, what I'm speaking about is everything I did for BWS since I've been at this property over here at my mom's house. Okay, hey, I'm on my way going to FedEx. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Like, I did BWS first fundraising campaign. And in order for me to do a fundraising campaign, like I said, paper costs a lot of money. I copied and printed 1,000 sheets of paper to have my campaign look like this. A book form. See, this is a book form. You got a binder. You have a black casing. I wanted a clear front plastic. And you have a story. It's not a story. You have the business. You have the information about the business. And I made several hundreds. I made about 100 or more copies of these booklets. And let me tell you something. Some of these booklets have colored pictures. So when a person is doing a color print, it costs more money. And my campaign have tabs, and they cost money too. And it costs money to bind. This is binding. It costs money to bind the pages together like a booklet. And whatever else you may have inside of it. You know, whatever other features you may have inside, everything costs money. So, like I said, printing costs a lot of money. Paper is needed very much in any kind of support group. So one of the causes of codes that I have for BWS is paper supply and printing costs. It reads, one thing, if any material is needed, is paper supply and office stationery. Having a support group requires lots of typing for interaction. Lots of printing takes place as well. So do mailing, filing, scanning documents, and even advertisement. This cause is well needed to keep the business flowing smoothly. Paper is needed in every aspect for BWS because it is a form of communication. It's a form of keeping things documented, legalized, and in order. Look, I had to include paper in the campaign because I'm going to sit down and write how much money I spent copying. I can't, because I've been doing BWS since 2016. And I've been copying paper, having board of directors meetings, having meetings, advertising, communicating, organizing. Ooh, I did a lot of things with paper. So paper, if anyone is interested, you're going to hear me talk about it later on in the video. I just don't know where it's going to come in at because, like I said, I don't have time to actually sit down and make a perfect script. So you have to excuse me here. I'm putting out a video. Paper is needed very much in any kind of support group because it's a form of talking. And I just want to say one thing. Fundraising campaign, it gotta be updated. I've had this fundraising, I had the same picture, the same cause and code since maybe 2018 or 17. I don't know what year this got created. I should know, but being that things got stolen, I don't have the disc to look back on the info date when I actually created these booklets here. When you have a business, it goes in stages. Business don't just stay stuck on its name. There's different stages the business got to go through to get to a step or wherever it's going. So these are the booklets that I have right now that I got to take to FedEx and get them in the book form to mail them off. So I'll be getting them tomorrow to do that. BWS, Black Weight Support. So if you'd like to make a donation for paper for me to continue, I will really appreciate any donation. $20 would be acceptable. $10 would be acceptable. $100 would be acceptable. $1,000 would be acceptable. The point what I'm trying to say, it doesn't take much to give to help somebody out. And paper, dear, paper, it adds up. It's a lot of money. When you have a business, paper really take a good portion of BWS money. I just wanted to say that, and let's continue with the video. Okay, so what else is going on? I told you I had a lot going on, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Well, I'm getting ready to sell the house. Yep, I'm getting ready to sell my mama house. I came here and I put my mother to rest. And in the midst of doing that, I didn't realize how much I would like the house. I liked the house. I enjoyed living here, you know, and having my, what can I say, my privacy, right? But I stay here with my sister as well, and she comes and goes, but I live here with my sister as well. That's her mother, and that's her mother too. But my sister, you know, she getting on my nerves because the only thing she keep telling me, we supposed to get half of everything. We supposed to have half of everything, and you know, my sister want half of everything. When my mom died and she left me as her beneficiary, which I was shocked, you know. My family all came down on me. I can't believe she left you. Let's see the insurance policy. Where's the documents? We want to speak to the lawyer. I was called every kind of name in the book. And my mother, she left it all to me because it was, or she left everything to me, and she said that I guess, you know, it was put like, if I wasn't living, then my sister can take over. But if I'm living, I'm 100% in charge of her policy. And my sister could not believe that because I've been homeless all these years, and she's been having a relationship with my mom because she can go in her house, she can see her, and be around her, and you know, all this time, all these years. It's like my parents only have one daughter because I wasn't there, you know. And her kids, my sister kids, like they probably thought they was the only grandkids that my parents had, but they have my kids, but they was not very supportive of my children. Maybe because I wasn't around, but even though I wasn't around, they should have cared more about my kids to check up on them and stuff as I was homeless. But they couldn't believe my mother left me in charge of everything, right? And not just my mother, her husband did too, because there was some paperwork attached to the house that he even signed that my name was down from him, which was a big start, which was a big shock, you know. The person told me, dealing with this particular paperwork, that I was assigned as the point of contact. You know, so my sister, my family, everybody cursing me out, was mad. Thought I had more money than anybody and everything. And then, once they got over that, my sister just left me, you know, she never did much because I became administrator of the property. And she just didn't help out, like, right now. I have to sell this house because if I don't sell the house, it's going to go in foreclosure. And once it goes in foreclosure, once a property goes in foreclosure, the banks own the house. So I would no longer be in charge of the property. And I don't want to see that happen. So I have to sell now. And my family was pushing me to sell way before this time, but I was mourning my mom. I really was. And by me being in her house, I got to know more of my mother, you know, because we wasn't really close like that. And by me being in her house and throwing away all her possessions, I got to feel my mom. I wanted to feel her, you know. And it's a funny relationship because we never had one, but yet I'm crying for her, right? Because I do love my mother, and it's just that, you know, her husband got in the way, and she shouldn't have let that happen, and neither should I. But I try not to. But at the end of the day, it's her responsibility too. So, make a long story short, I said it's time now to leave. Not only because foreclosure, I'm really ready to move on now without her, you know. We always spoke on the phone. I always spoke to my mother on the phone. And once I came to her house and picked up her possessions, you know, I tried to do my business to see if it can generate money, whereas I can keep the property. You can't keep a property with no job, right? So BW has been in effect since 2016. So nobody can say, oh, she jumped up and tried to have a business to keep the house. No, I've been at this for a while. And you know what? My mother, she was one of my board of directors. So I've been at BWS, Black Race Support, for a while, since 2016. And I did my first fundraiser. I funded the first fundraiser, hoping that some people will be interested into BWS mission and they will make a donation. And let me tell you something, I flopped at my first fundraiser. Oh, that's right. I put a video out there. I did my hair in this nice, short, sassy, 3-color look, right? And then the following week, I was going to come out and read my book, Coaches. And then I got hit with all of this. I had to come to the realization it's time to sell my mom's house. I knew that day was going to come. I just didn't really know when. Because I want to say one thing. My mom and I may have not had the best mother and daughter relationship, but I truly do care for my mom. Our relationship, looking back on it, I honestly can say I had 22% that I could have made an effort to change, but, I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I'm not even giving myself 22% because sometimes things is what it is. And I and my mom, we got to have an understanding. And I talked about that in the video. And that's really good because she's my mother. A lot of these kids is not growing up with their parents. A lot of these kids is coming from other countries. And I don't know how their family life is, unlike American. But Americans always want to show you the family unity, Thanksgiving, the dog, the husband, the wife. And now they done changed it to the gayness, like whatever you want to be and stuff like that, they define it. They didn't change so much that the family dynamic in New York, the United States, has changed so much. So I'm still old school. I came from an era where the children respected their parents. I came from an era of blackness where we was just family poor. And we didn't even care that we was poor because we had so much fun and so much love. But things changed with the black family. And I was upset with my mother, yes, because I was homeless for so long. And I felt she could have helped. Because it wasn't just me. I have children. And I was not seeing my kids, and neither was she. So that's another reason that added on to my little stubbornness with my mother. Girl, you a woman, and I'm a woman, and you're black, and I'm black, and you mean to tell me you're going to act this way? And I have a dad too, though. And I'm going to tell you something. When I found out that my mom had me down on her policy, I was really shocked because I didn't honestly think she cared about me, because I was never invited in her home when I should have been when I was homeless for so long. So when I came into her house, I knew my mother at one point. But at one point, we kind of really got distant, and then we just was distant, and that's where it stayed at, for a very long time. So when I came back around into my mother's house, I was like, wow, so this is her house. And I felt her. I felt my mother's spirit. And by me cutting up her clothes and throwing out her stuff, I was seeing my mom, you know? And it was great for me because I needed to close a door on our relationship. Because it's supposed to be a bonding relationship. I can't speak for other people, and I ain't talking about black people, how they act, because not everybody act the same. You know, not every culture is the same. So when black people start talking, everybody, oh yeah, we like that, but you can tell they not by how they act. You know, so every culture got their own way of doing things. I'm just saying, you know, when she passed, and it was the way how she passed too, that got to me as well. You know, maybe she didn't pass that badly. I don't know. Because I thought it was kind of messed up to see your mother be treated so badly in the nursing home and be treated so badly in the hospital around professionals. You know, girl, I done been through the shelter. I've been through the drama of the family court system. And then just to see the hospital and see my mother going through and how they don't have her record and they transfer her from one place and she don't even have her medication. They don't even know what medication she's supposed to have. What kind of system do we got going on here? And I still have a cough, but it's much better. So I had to wrap all of that craziness that I saw in the hospital, and I was by myself. So here I am now in my mom's house, and my family mad at me because I'm in her house. You don't belong here. What? You know what? I finally had the time to look at everything. You don't have time to look at everything when you're homeless in the street. When you got to go see this child and go see this child, and this child is over this way, and you don't got no money, and all this drama is happening. Then you being told your way of living is different. You got to share your common grounds, and you can't have an apartment that you, as an American, that I'm used to having. Let me see you adapt to all those different changes and live and sleep in shelters and on cots. You know, I didn't picture all that. And I didn't picture all that stuff that happened between my children and I either. I got lost and so did they. And they out there, and they younger than me. And they out there separately. And it's not because I wanted it to happen like that. It's just that it just was something that took place, and there was nothing I can do. So you have all these emotions, and my family who've been in their house for all these years, the same location, working, doing the same house. You don't have no sympathy? I mean, come off it. Last time I saw you, you cursed me out. What, girl? Do you know when the last time I ate a sandwich every day when I was homeless? That's something unusual. I don't see my children. I don't have any money. Every holiday, I'm in the shelter. I don't know what they expect for me to act, how they, you know, but I'm sorry if I wasn't the nicest person, but I didn't have no shoes. Yo, I want to see how you act, you know. But the point is, they didn't have no kind of sympathy for me. I saw you curse me out, but you only saw me 1 or 2 times, but you're going to hold that against me and never talk to me and never open me or hug me or say, come over here, I love you, girl, come on in the house or something. But instead you're going to itch babe because you see me at my mother's house. She was my mother too. And we was not at odds like this all our life, you know? I had a mother at one point and she treated me very nice. You know, she always was a little like not so babyish with me because I have always been like a very independent compared to my sister. I have always been more independent, and you know, I can do things, and I knew how to carry and do tasks and create things. My mother didn't have to worry or guide me, hold my hand as much as, you know, she thought, whatever. But the point is, Who cares? She died and she's my mother. She's the longest person that I knew. And I didn't like how she died too. You know, the people in the nursing home, everything just shocked the crap out of me. It made me just look at everybody like, girl, I don't know what kind of world we living in. But it was a shock. And it's still shocking me. I couldn't even talk. And for me to go and see that by myself, okay, yeah, I didn't care for her, but I didn't want to go there and see you just stab her with a needle and then say that you don't have no medication or you gave her the wrong needle. You know, it was kind of rough, you know. She's still my mother at the end of the day, you know, and being in her house, I got to have closure. And I'm glad I got closure. And I'm glad that we connected before she died in a more positive way. But it opened up my eyes to my family now. You know, I'm looking at them and they really cursing me out because I'm here, and they cursing me out because I'm the beneficiary and I'm in charge. I'm telling you something. I'm changing towards them. Like, I ain't know you hate me so much, you know? But that's what happened. I got in her house and I loved it being just by myself. Because in the shelter, you're not by yourself. And where they send me at in the Bronx, you're still not by yourself. It's like they still have a hold on you. They still want to know what you're doing, where you going, who's coming to see you. You still got to report in. You know, I'm not used to that type of lifestyle. I'm not a crook, you know, nor am I a person who's mentally ill that you got to take care of me. And nor do I have to report to you my way. You know, I'm grown. I'm not a little kid, you know, so being in my mother's house, I didn't have to report. I didn't have to see you. And I got to just be me, you know, and I like that. That's what I'm saying. I love just taking care of me and getting up and doing with the things that I like and not have to report to nobody and stuff like that. And I love the freedom of having different rooms. You know, you can go in this room, go in that room, because, you know, in the shelter, you're so closed and you only got a cot. And then the way they sit me to is so small. I just like being normal and having my own privacy and just paying my bills or whatever and just coming in and out the door. I liked that. And I liked getting to know my mother because I got to know her. Because I had to read all her mail, and it was a lot. I had to throw out all her furniture, and if you look at my video, you've seen all that stuff that I've been throwing out and taking care of for her. I had to know how to take care of her business, how to get a lawyer to help take care of her property. I had to file documents. I had to get certified documents. It wasn't easy. And for my sister to say just because I am the administrator of the house and she just don't care, you know, like you just take care of everything, but everybody cursed me out. I supposed to have where's my share? Well, how much money you get? I know I've got to get half. It's kind of, I'm getting to the point like they irking my nerves now, you know. I'm getting to the point, I'm kind of not liking them. And that's hard for me to say because you know, I want to get along with my family, and I feel I should, you know. I feel I should have family in my life because we used to be cool, so, but people change, as they say, and I just don't like being called all kind of names. And be looked so down upon. And the only reason why I feel I'm being looked so down upon is because, yes, I was homeless for a long time. And yes, I lost the custody of raising my children. I lost being their mother. But that was not my fault. And no one should hold me accountable for that. You know, but you ain't better than me because those things happen. And then, you know what, you should applaud me for bringing myself up. I think I'm doing a lot to build up my life. To have a studio, to all this stuff is paid for. or I found it and I washed it, I cleaned it up, and I created something out of nothing. And that takes guts, and it takes thinking about it, creativity, and you know what? Resilience. You got to do it. And I'm doing it, And I have a BWS YouTube channel now. I'm doing it. I wrote a book. Hey, writing a book is not easy. You know what I'm saying? But I did. So I can put an author to my name. Hey, I have a nonprofit organization. Do you know the steps it takes to build a business? You're just going to say, oh, I have a business, and it happens like that. So my family's so busy looking at the negative side of me, they're not seeing the positive side. Or maybe they don't want to. But I'm at the point where I really don't care no more what they want. And in my case, to get to the fundraising part of BWS, I did it before. But when I did it, I didn't get anywhere because I felt I didn't have a website. So what I'm saying here, to have a business and for me to try to get my nonprofit up and running, I paid a designer to build BWS website. I had to buy BWS name to get my business license. I had to buy a logo for my business. I had to have a virtual office. I could not say, look, I'm working right here on the floor, how you see me in one of the rooms of my mom's house or one of the rooms in the Bronx. I had to invest money and I had to have a virtual office, whereas documents like mailed out could have came back to. Whereas if someone wanted to help out the cause, they had a place to send a check. Let's get back into the video. Oh, I said I gotta sell the house, right? So that's one of the things that was troubling me the last time I did my video. And I told you, I don't know where I'm going right now. And I left the video off with doing my hair. And then my following video, I was going to read my book that I've written on this channel. And then everything spiraled out of control. And one of those spiraling things that took place was, it was time for me to sell the house. And I'm telling you, I'm ready now to sell my mother's house. Not because it's time, because I still have a little bit more time, to tell you the truth, because the foreclosure is really like here, but it's not. And from my understanding, once the foreclosure come in effect fully, when there's, you still have a little leeway. So I do still have some kind of leeway, but I'm ready to put my mom's house to rest. I've been here long enough, and it took me some time to get over it with my mom's death and stuff like that. I guess the mourning process. So really, I can say goodbye to my mother now, and I can say goodbye to her. I realized, I said, okay, I made a decision. I'm going to sell the property. I'm not going to sit here and play no more, because I know this foreclosure is about to come up, and I don't want to walk away with nothing. And I don't want to walk away with nothing and have my sister walk away with nothing. But my sister, she gets on my nerve because she's not here helping to clean up, to do something like that. Even though I'm the administrator of the property, she never really had nothing to do. She came home to a clean room that I cleaned. I cleaned up behind both my mother and her husband. I read all the mail, but my sister swept the yard. I think I can count on one hand. She's been here all these years, with me after they died. But now that the house is going for sale, I would like to have her help, because the more appealing, you can make a house look, the more bank you get, the more money you can get for the property. before we get into this video, I shouldn't have had to go into those nursing homes by myself. My mother shouldn't have died the way she did with just me. I thought people loved her. I thought she had friends. I thought people loved her. So, and cared about her. You know, don't you supposed to be with somebody when they need you most? I think she needed a lot of people most at this stage. Not that she was dying, but how the things was going. How the system was going. How the coronavirus had everybody going. And how they had our families. So that was all kind of shocking to see all of that. And then to see at the end, there's nobody there but me for my mother. Didn't like it at all. On nobody end. The city, Mother Nature, my family, her friends, I just didn't like none of it. So, like I said, I really don't care how they think about me anymore. Because if this is how you treat people you're supposed to love, or people supposed to be with you, and you can't stand up and you don't care, girl, boy, whoever you are, I'm on YouTube. I'm not going to give you the middle finger, but this is part 1 of the video, because there's more stuff that happened behind the video that you just saw. And I'm going to air that either next week. I don't know if I'm going to do it for Tuesday video, because I really have to edit everything. But, you know, at least I'm back now, right? I had a lot going on. So until next time, guys, thank you for coming by the studio. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for hearing my story. Keep me in a good prayer that I come out okay from all of this stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Come on. And see you at the next video. Bye.